All right, so today we are going to be going on a deep dive into love languages.
Love language.
Love languages. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have heard this term thrown around.
Absolutely.
Maybe you've taken a quiz online or two, but we're going to
Yeah.
kind of break down some assumptions
Mhm.
and explore some juicy details
Yeah.
and help you really grasp how this knowledge can
Yeah.
really transform your relationships.
Absolutely. And I think what's so fascinating about this whole concept is that it's not like some ancient wisdom,
Right.
or a complex psychological theory.
Right.
It all started with a book
Yeah.
called The Five Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman.
Okay.
And it just completely changed how we view connection and affection.
It's like he cracked a code or something.
He did. He did.
But here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Knowing the 5 basic languages, that's just the beginning.
Mhm.
The real magic happens when you start to understand
Absolutely.
like the nuances, the layers beneath the surface.
Yeah.
So are you ready to unlock that deeper level?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Let's get into it.
Right.
So let's start with words of affirmation.
Yes. Words of affirmation.
Yes, words of affirmation. For some people, hearing positive words, it's like their love tank is being filled up.
Absolutely. And it's more than just saying, I love you.
Right.
It's about really seeing someone, acknowledging their efforts, their qualities,
Oh,
and
yeah.
expressing that appreciation in a way that really resonates with them.
Like a verbal high five.
Yeah, exactly.
You're amazing. You're doing great.
I see you.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Those words, especially for someone whose primary love language is words of affirmation.
Oh, it's gold.
It's pure gold.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears a little bit to acts of service.
Okay.
This one is so often mistaken for simply doing chores,
Right.
but it's so much more than that.
Right.
Think of it as love in motion,
Okay.
anticipating your loved one's needs,
Yeah.
and taking action to make their life a little bit easier.
Yeah, it's like you're saying I care about you,
Yes.
and I'm here to support you not just with my words,
Yes.
but with tangible actions.
Love in action.
Yeah, and those actions could be anything from making their favorite meal
Mm-hmm.
after they've had a long day
Absolutely.
to like organizing their chaotic desk when they're
Yeah.
just drowning in work.
I love that.
Yeah.
Drowning in work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just those small gestures that show you're paying attention
Yes.
and you genuinely want to help.
Okay, so let's talk about receiving gifts.
Okay.
Now, this one gets, I think, a bad rap for being materialistic.
It does. It does.
But the truth is, it's not about the price tag
Mhm.
or the size of the gift.
It's the thought that counts.
Right. It's the thought behind it,
Yes.
the message it conveys.
Absolutely.
It's like you're saying, I was thinking of you,
Yes.
and I wanted to bring you a little joy.
Mhm.
It could be a small, hand-picked gift
Yeah.
that reflects their interest,
Yes.
or a silly inside joke,
Yeah, I love that.
or even something that reminds them of a special memory.
Absolutely.
It's all about those tangible tokens of affection that show that you care.
Okay. Next up, we have quality time.
Oh.
Now, this one, in today's world of constant distractions,
Yeah.
can feel like a precious commodity.
Totally.
But for someone whose primary love language is quality time,
Yes.
it's the ultimate expression of love.
It's about being fully present.
Yeah.
Giving someone your undivided attention.
Mm-hmm.
Really connecting on a deeper level.
Absolutely.
Like carving out that sacred space where you can just be yourselves,
Yes.
share your thoughts and feelings, and truly savor each other's company.
Love it.
And those moments, they're more valuable than any material possession.
Absolutely, they are.
Okay, so then we have physical touch,
Physical touch.
which again, I think there's some misconceptions here.
Yeah, it's often misconstrued as being solely about romantic or sexual intimacy.
Right.
But it encompasses a much broader spectrum
Right.
of those physical expressions of affection.
It's about the power of human touch
Mm.
to convey warmth, comfort, and security.
Yes.
Like a nonverbal way of saying, I'm here for you,
Mm-hmm.
I care about you,
Yes.
and I'm physically present with you in this moment.
I love that.
It could be a simple hug,
Mm-hmm.
holding hands,
Yeah.
a gentle touch on the arm,
Yeah.
or even just cuddling up on the couch or watching a movie.
So those little things.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Imagine you're in a relationship
Yeah.
and you're pouring your heart into expressing your love,
Okay.
but your partner just doesn't seem to be receiving it.
It's like you're speaking different languages.
Exactly. Different languages.
Yeah.
And that's where understanding these love languages
Right.
can really be a game changer.
Yeah.
It's not about doing what feels most natural or easiest for you.
Right.
It's about meeting your partner where they are
Yes.
and expressing love in a way that speaks directly to their heart.
It reminds me of, let's say your partner's love language is acts of service.
Okay.
And you're showering them with compliments.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're being super
You
affectionate.
think you're doing a great job.
Yeah. But what they're really craving
Yeah.
are those tangible acts of support,
Yeah.
like doing the dishes without being asked,
Mhm.
or taking the car in for an oil change.
Those are things. Yeah.
And so you're thinking, but I told them I love you 10 times today.
Yeah.
Why aren't they happy?
Exactly.
But it's because you're speaking your love language, not
Yeah.
theirs.
Yes.
It's like trying to have a conversation with someone who only speaks French
Right.
when you only speak Spanish.
Exactly. The message is not going to get across,
Exactly.
no matter how much effort you put in.
Right.
And that's why it's so crucial to not only understand your own love language,
Hmm.
but also the love languages of those closest to you.
Yeah.
It's about bridging that gap, speaking each other's language, and ensuring that your love is truly heard, felt, and appreciated.
It's like having a superpower
It is a superpower.
to unlock those deeper levels of connection and intimacy in your relationships.
Absolutely. And the best part is
Yeah.
that superpower is available to everyone.
I love that.
It's just a matter of understanding the concept
Yeah.
and being willing to put it into practice.
I love it.
All right.
Okay, so
Yeah, so we've explored those 5 love languages.
yeah.
And we've talked about how understanding them can be like a game changer for your relationship.
Absolutely.
But let's go a little deeper,
Oh.
shall we? Because the real magic
Yeah.
lies in those subtle nuances, those layers that really take this concept
Right.
beyond a simple checklist.
Yes. It's like learning the grammar rules of a language. But
Mm,
then you start to discover like the slang,
yeah,
the idioms, the cultural context that brings it all to life.
absolutely.
Okay, so let's unpack some of those layers.
Okay.
Starting with words of affirmation.
Okay, so think of words of affirmation as a finely tuned instrument.
Okay.
It's not about generic compliments
Right.
or empty flattery.
Right.
It's about crafting words
Yeah.
that genuinely resonate with the recipient.
Yeah, so instead of just saying, you look nice,
Right.
you might say, that color really brings out the sparkle in your eyes.
Oh, I love that.
Or, I love how your outfit reflects your bold personality.
Beautiful, yes.
It's about being specific, observant, and genuinely appreciative.
Exactly. And it's those tailored words of affirmation
Yeah.
that truly nourish the soul of someone
Right.
who values this love language.
Yes.
They feel seen, understood, and cherished
Absolutely.
for who they truly are.
Okay, now let's move on to acts of service.
Okay.
This one I think can be tricky
It can be.
because it's so easy to fall into the trap of
Yes.
just doing chores out of obligation
Mm-hmm.
rather than love.
Exactly. The key difference here lies in intentionality.
Okay.
It's about noticing what would truly make your loved one's life
Yeah.
easier or more joyful,
Mm-hmm.
and then taking action. Not because you have to,
Right.
but because you want to.
Yeah. It's like you're saying,
Yes.
I see you struggling with that heavy suitcase
Yeah.
and I want to help you carry it because I care about you.
Absolutely.
Or maybe you notice your partner is stressed about a presentation,
Hmm.
so you offer to proofread their slides or practice their speech with them.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be these grand gestures either.
Right.
It could be as simple as making breakfast in bed
Yeah.
on a Sunday morning,
Right.
picking up their dry cleaning on your way home from work,
Yeah.
or even just offering to walk the dog in the pouring rain.
Right. Right.
It's the thoughtfulness behind the act
Yes.
that matters most.
Okay, let's tackle receiving gifts.
Okay,
Because I think this one often gets misunderstood.
it does.
People assume it's all about extravagance and materialism,
Mhm.
but that's so far from the truth.
So far.
It's about those tangible expressions of love that say,
Yes.
I was thinking of you, regardless of monetary value.
Exactly. The perfect gift
Yeah.
isn't about price tags. It's about resonating
Right.
with your loved one's heart.
Like imagine you find a quirky vintage book
Mm-hmm.
that perfectly aligns with your partner's obscure interests.
I love it.
Or like a handmade piece of art that captures the essence
Yes.
of a shared memory.
Beautiful.
Those are the types of gifts that really speak the language of
Yes.
receiving gifts.
It's the thought, the effort, the personal touch
Yes.
that makes all the difference.
Okay, next up we have quality time,
Quality time.
which can be a challenge
It can be.
in our hyper-connected,
Yeah.
always-on world.
Absolutely. Always on.
But for someone whose primary love language is quality time,
Yes.
those pockets of focused attention, it's like oxygen to their soul.
I love that analogy. Yeah, think about it.
Yeah.
In a world of constant distractions,
Right.
Giving someone your undivided attention,
Yeah.
it's a precious gift.
So it's not just about physical proximity.
No, it's not.
It's about active listening, engaging in meaningful conversations.
Yes.
Creating those shared experiences that foster deeper connection.
What if you put on some music, dim the lights,
Yeah.
and just spend an evening talking, laughing,
Yeah.
really listening to each other,
Yeah.
or going for a hike in nature, exploring a new city together,
Uh-huh.
or even just curling up on the couch
Right.
and reading books side by side.
It's about creating that space where you can connect
Yes.
on a deeper level without distractions or interruptions.
Beautiful, yeah.
And finally, we have physical touch,
Physical touch.
which again goes way
it
beyond
does.
romantic or sexual intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
It's about those everyday gestures of affection that
Mhm.
convey warmth, comfort, and reassurance.
Think about the power of a hug when you're feeling down.
Mm-hmm.
The warmth of holding hands when
Yeah.
you're walking down the street,
Right.
or the comfort of a gentle back rub at the end of a long day.
Yeah.
These small acts of physical touch
Right.
can be so powerful.
Yeah.
For someone whose primary love language is physical touch,
Right.
it's a way of saying, I'm here for you,
Yeah.
without uttering a single word.
It's about creating that safe and loving space
Mm-hmm.
through that physical connection,
Yeah.
those subtle gestures that speak a language
Yeah.
of intimacy and support.
Absolutely.
Now, what I think is so fascinating about love languages
Yeah.
is that while each person has a primary love language,
Yes.
we can all appreciate
Mm-hmm.
and benefit from all five to some degree.
Absolutely. It's like having a toolbox filled with different tools.
Right.
You wouldn't use a hammer for every job.
Right.
You choose the tool that's best suited for the task at hand.
Exactly.
And the same goes for love languages.
Right.
The key is to be adaptable,
Yes.
to pay attention to what your loved ones respond to most positively,
Yeah.
and to be willing to step outside your comfort zone
Yeah.
to express your love in a way that truly resonates with them.
It's like becoming fluent in the language of love.
Yes.
Recognizing that different expressions
Mm.
resonate differently
Right.
with different people.
Mm.
And the more fluent you become in all five,
Yeah.
the better equipped you'll be
Yes.
to build strong, fulfilling relationships.
I love it.
So welcome back to our deep dive into love languages.
Love languages.
We've explored the five,
Mhm.
we've uncovered their nuances,
Yes.
and we've started to see how this understanding can revolutionize our relationship.
Absolutely.
But like any powerful tool, love languages can be misinterpreted
Oh, yeah.
or even misused.
Absolutely.
So in this final part of our deep dive,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to tackle some of those common pitfalls
Okay.
and misconceptions that can trip people up.
I like it.
One thing I've noticed is that sometimes people get so fixated on their own love language
Yep.
that they forget to tune into their partners. It's like they're trying to win a love language Olympics
Oh, yeah.
instead of building genuine connection.
It's like they're shouting in their preferred language.
Yeah,
Expecting the other person to magically understand
right.
rather than learning a few phrases
Right.
in their partner's language.
It's like I'm over here saying, tell me how amazing I am,
Yes.
while my partner's silently pleading, just empty the dishwasher.
That would mean the world to me.
That's such a good example.
Yeah.
It highlights the importance of empathy and
Yeah.
perspective taking.
Absolutely.
It's not about declaring our love language
Right.
as the right one.
Mm-hmm.
It's about embracing
Yeah.
this beautiful diversity of
Yes.
how we each experience
Mhm.
and express love.
So how do we avoid falling into that trap?
Yeah, how do we shift
Yeah.
from me focus to
Yeah.
we focus when
Yeah.
it comes to love languages?
Curiosity is key.
Okay.
Instead of assuming we know what our partner needs,
Mm-hmm.
we can ask open-ended questions.
Yeah.
Like, what makes you feel most loved and appreciated?
Oh, I love that.
Or, is there anything I could do that would make you feel extra special today?
It's like you become a love language detective,
Yes.
searching for clues,
Mm.
decoding the mystery of what truly makes your partner's heart sing.
And it's an ongoing investigation.
Right.
Needs and preferences can change over time.
Right.
So it's important to check in regularly,
Yeah.
especially during major life transitions or periods of stress.
Okay, so another misconception I hear a lot
Mhm.
is that love languages are only relevant
Yeah.
in romantic relationships.
Right.
But what about all the other connections in our lives?
Yeah.
Our friends, our family.
Colleagues.
Yeah, our colleagues.
Absolutely. Love languages
Yeah.
are a universal language
Right.
of connection.
Yeah,
Imagine how much smoother family gatherings would be
right.
if we understood that mom thrives on words of affirmation,
Right.
while dad feels most loved through acts of service.
Or think about work relationships.
Yeah.
If your colleague just lights up when you acknowledge their contributions during a meeting,
Yeah.
chances are their love language is words of affirmation.
Probably.
And a little appreciation can go a long way
It can.
in boosting morale and productivity.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that everyone
Yeah.
has a unique way of feeling loved and valued,
Mhm.
and those needs extend
Right.
far beyond the realm of romance.
Okay, so before we wrap up our deep dive,
Yeah.
let's equip our listeners
Okay.
with some practical tools for putting this knowledge into action.
I like it.
First and foremost,
Man.
if you haven't already,
Mm-hmm.
take a moment to identify your own love language.
Yes, there are plenty of quizzes and resources online.
Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
it's not about boxing yourself in,
Right.
but rather gaining self-awareness.
Yeah. And then turn your attention to the people closest to you.
Yes.
Observe their actions, listen to their words,
Mhm.
and notice what truly makes them light up.
Yeah, are they constantly expressing gratitude?
Right.
Do they go out of their way to help others?
Right.
Those are clues to their love language.
Exactly. And then here's the fun part.
Yeah.
Start experimenting.
Yeah.
Try expressing your love in their preferred language,
Mm-hmm.
even if it feels a bit awkward at first.
You might.
You might be surprised at how much a small gesture
Yes.
tailored to their love language
Mm.
can brighten their day and
Absolutely.
strengthen your bond.
It's about moving beyond our default mode and being willing to stretch ourselves
Right.
to learn a new language of love
Yes.
and to speak it fluently.
And remember, communication is key.
It is.
Don't be afraid to have those open and honest conversations about love
Mhm.
languages with your loved ones.
Absolutely.
Ask for what you need
Mm-hmm.
and be receptive to their feedback.
Yeah.
It's a journey of discovery.
It
And the more we learn and grow together,
Yeah.
the more fulfilling our relationships become.
I love that.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into love languages, we invite you to take this knowledge
Yes.
and weave it into the fabric of your relationships.
Beautiful.
Embrace the diversity of how we each experience
Yeah.
and express love.
Yes.
Be curious.
Be compassionate
Be compassionate.
and be willing to speak the language of love
Yes.
that resonates most deeply
Yes.
with those you care about.
And who knows,
Yeah.
maybe by becoming fluent in this universal language of connection, we can create a world where love truly is the most powerful force of all.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.